to waste any more of your time, we're going to start off with welcome remarks from the GPs, Kutlwano Mamuhapelo.
Yeah, as I'm Kutlwano Mamuhapelo, I am a person responsible for cooperatives in Johannesburg. Today I'll just give you the products and services of GEP and explain them in just a little bit more of detail. So GEP is Gauteng Enterprise Propeller. It is an entity of Gauteng Department of Economic Development. The mandate is to, as the name suggests, propel small businesses. So we are the custodians of small businesses in Gauteng. We have two wings or two operational wings at GEP. We have the investment management wing, which is responsible for loans and big investments. And then we also have the business development services. So I will start with business development support, of which I am partly responsible for. With business development support, we have two programs. Those programs are divided into grants and business development services. With those grants, we are actually targeting small businesses from survivalist to multi-million services. So we basically have two types of grants, three actually types of grants, which is startup grant for 15,000 for entities that have been operating for less than 2 years. And then we also have a 50,000 rand grant for organizations that have been operating for 2 years or more. But the funds for cooperatives are limited to 40,000 rand. So basically those are the grant services. And then we also have business development services or support, which actually is a non-financial support system for entities, small entities. And when we talk of business development support, we talk of items like those value-adding exercises that the business might not have enough funds to help themselves with. We talk of maybe business planning if you need to access funds or you need a business plan for your operation. We assist with that. If you need your marketing strategy, we can draw you a market strategy for you. If you need marketing materials support things like your business cards, your banners, website, and so on. We assist with that as well. We also have product development where you get access to testing of the product. For example, those who are in the food industry or cosmetics and so on, your product might need to be tested before it gets to the market or to the shelves. So you don't have funds to do that. We can assist you with that. Some businesses are in construction, maybe electrical services and so on, and we know that most of the time for that to access contracts, tenders and so on, the organizations might need your quality management systems, your safety files and so on. We also assist you with that. So there's quite a lot of services there. I cannot say them all. Okay, the last one is accreditations. For example, your business is in the health services, you want to be accredited with the health professional services, or your private securities, PCRAs, CIBDs, and all of those things. We can assist you to get accredited with such institutions, or the accreditations with the CITAs. We can also assist with those particular things. So basically, in a nutshell, that is what we are doing in business development. Our services in investment management basically is called that is debt financing. And we have two primary skoloto for those. So those loans, we have a term loan. A term loan is that loan where you need maybe to expand, you need to spread your wings elsewhere, you need to enter into new markets. And for that, your business must have been operating, and you must have the proof that you have been operating, and the proof in that it's financial records, your bank statements. We have to show that we have been operating. Whether you are not making enough money or not, that is not the issue. The issue is that you will be assessed, and then they will see if you are worthy of that financing. So we also have the next fund will be contract finance. What we know is that most of the time, small businesses will get contracts, tenders, and purchase orders from different government departments and so on. But the challenge is that to finance or to it becomes difficult because you don't have those required funds to get through the contract. So that's where we come in, and you of course the money or the maximum to be funded will depend on your particular contract. However, financing, our financing generally starts from 50,000 rand up to 5 million rand. That's what can be looked into, about 5 million rand to be on finance, unless you have a co-funder somewhere else. And the last thing is the process, how to access our products. You make an application online, which is www.geponline.co.za. When you apply for investment or for loans, you select financial services, or there's also a youth program. If you want a youth program, you can select a youth program. There's also then, if you want that side, grants, smaller grants, you go to support or support services. So please, I'm going to repeat this. If you want a loan, you select financial. If you want a grant or business development support, you select support. So, but then we know that our people, we have the elderly, we have people like me who are technologically challenged. You can go to any of our offices for them to help you. We have a total of 9 offices around Gauteng. We have an office in Johannesburg Regional Office. It's situated right above the above our head office in 124 Main Street. We also have a satellite office in Soweto Maponya Mall. We have an office in Krugersdorp, which is the Western region. We have an office in Sidibeng, in Vereeniging. They also have a satellite office in Heidelberg. We have an office in Ekurhuleni. We also have an office in Tshwane. They also have a satellite office in Bronkhorstspruit. So you can visit any of those offices to be able to be assisted. Ke tla fella moo bagolo.
So, as most of you know, the main focus that our product is bringing in is to try to assist the SMEs to get ready for financing or to get financed as quickly as possible. We're aiming to have disbursements as quickly as 5 minutes or even less over the period of the next coming months or again, depending on how long it takes us. But that's the vision, and through that initiative, we have tried to then identify the pain points that our SMEs are suffering from. So those thin-filed SMEs, those SMEs who might not be making the revenue that some lenders are requiring, and so forth. And through that engagement, continuous engagement with SMEs, what we have gathered is that we need to broaden at least the value adds that we are going to try and assist our SMEs with. Hence, we are going to be launching a few key products or key features which are aimed purely on helping the SMEs get ready for financing and be financed as quickly as possible. So we are looking to launch our Insyts Pay, which is going to be a POS payment solution within the first quarter next year. The idea there is to allow for payment from SME to also be tracked, helping them to have that financial profile built up as they are going through their own process. So that's already in the pipeline, and we're excited to be working on that and try to aid the already existing SMEs that we are working with. And in the same light, I think within the agenda, you also hear from the different speakers. We have managed to partner with Power, where we are focusing on women-led SMEs to try and assist them to get ready for financing, or to also track how well they're doing and give insights as to how best they can combat the different situations that they're in. So we're excited for that program. We are looking to work with over 5,000 SMEs in South Africa to get them ready for financing and be financed within that period of time. Over and above that, we have launched our new dashboard. Unfortunately, I could tell that we didn't manage to play the video, but the idea is we want all the SMEs to be able to link all their transactional information and remove that gap that has come in where you're asked for a bank statement when you use mobile money for your banking activities or for your transactions. We are trying to get to a point where we are giving a fair profile of how well each business is doing over a period of time, based on what is actually happening in the business and what we can check on a transactional level. So that's quite exciting for us, and the team is working full time to try and get that ready for production. So that kind of dashboard is going to assist the different SMEs as to the pain points that they can address and the key advices or the key recommendations that we can give for them to address those different aspects.
Do they have any red tapes when it comes to the development of small businesses? Because many people, they talk about development of small businesses, and when you come in, starting to engage with them, they will amaze you with red tapes. Are they having red tape? They must tell us, what is it that can cause me not to succeed, to have funding? They must put all those things transparently, you know, because we can't waste time writing business plans, running all over the place, after wasting a lot of time. Only when you start to submit, they're going to reject you.
Okay, no, that's a great question. So from our end, what we have done is to try to create a platform where we can advise you depending on where you are in the stage of financing. So you always have a bar. Let's say when you initially on board, one of the key things that we ask for is, what are your targets? What are your goals, right? If it's financing, you mention 1, 2, 3, right? And you link us to, ideally, you then link us to either your bank account, which again is fully encrypted itself, or you can upload 3 months bank statements. The reason why we need this information is exactly to the point that you have raised, where we don't want to more or less waste your time to make you go through a whole process when you are maybe in the early stages of trying to get financing. when we know that maybe 90% or 99% or even all of the lenders that we have on board can't finance you at this point. So the reason why we have kind of done it this way is to try to get as much information to create your profile as possible. And from there, we communicate directly to your pain points. So we don't send generic emails. We speak to exactly what you're experiencing as a business. So I'll give a typical example. It can be, I started my business yesterday. Started my business 1 year ago, and I've been operational, but I haven't registered with the CIPC doc. And that's one of the key things for you to get finance. And those are the first things that we highlight. Can you first go through this process? You will never get financing up until you have that CIPC doc in place. Second thing might be you're using your personal account for business activities. You won't be able to get financing with that kind of setup. So those are the key things that we then highlight to you, because those are the pain points that you're going through at that particular stage. And you always have a progress bar to see where you are, how you are doing, and how close you are to getting to financing. And once you are ready, we actually send you an email to say, hey, you are ready for financing. And once you apply, you can see all the lenders that you qualify for, and you can even choose which lender you want to apply to. So if you don't like lender A, you might not want to apply to lender A. If you want to apply to all 20 lenders or all 10 lenders that you qualify for, it's your freedom as an SME to apply for them. Reason being, you need to be, where we're coming from, you are in control of who is giving you a loan and in what terms. If you're not happy with the terms, you can go to lender B to get those terms that you're looking for. Hopefully that answers that question. So the criteria are automated. Once you connect everything in, we can tell which criteria you suit and which criteria you don't suit. So automatically when we say you're applying, if we have 20 lenders on board and you only see 3 lenders, it's because those are 3 lenders that you qualify for from the 20 lenders that we have, right? So we always show you which criteria or which lenders you actually qualify for before you send any application through.
Okay.
Are there any ones who can be willing to help on my products that I'm having? They are creative work. Some they find it sensitive. Hence, I'm saying, are there any maybe who are open enough? Thank you.
So hopefully I'm getting the question well as to if you have sensitive products that you want to sell, are there any lenders that are willing to finance? Yeah, so thanks Richard for the question. So yes, so we have lenders who are sensitive to what the business is actually doing. And we also have lenders who really don't mind what you're doing as long as you have the right track record, whether it's transactional history or so forth. So if you have that kind of information, you can still be financed. You might not qualify for all of the lenders, but then there are lenders who can definitely help you.
So I want to find out if the platform will be able to assist me to see where my money is going, how am I spending it, because right now I'm struggling with that part of finance. I'm good with everything else, coach, mentoring, the business, marketing, but my money, hey guys, I need help. So if the platform can be able to do that for me, then I want to know if it can teach me how to manage my money, to budget, you know, to be responsible, to pay myself right, to know I need to spend this much, not everything, you know. When you're a business person, you're thinking all of the money is mine, yes, but I need that help. So can the platform be able to do that?
Thank you so much for that question, because I think that's something that we occasionally get, or that question we occasionally get. And the answer is yes. So we give actionable insights. So what that means is, I think hopefully we'll be able to play the video of the new dashboard. What that means is you can track the revenue that you're making, you can track the expenses that you're having, you can track as per target how you're doing, how far off are you from that particular target that you set yourself for. You can track even your credit score, how well, in terms of eventually if you want to get a credit maybe a year later or so, how well are you tracking to get to that point. So that's definitely what the platform can help you with, and you always get those weekly reports to say, hey, this is how you have been doing this week. If your target was 10,000, maybe you did 20,000 this week, and these are the key highlights. And the expenses that you have been having, maybe 50% of your revenue. And so we give you that actionable insights.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully that answers you.
It does. Thank you.
I just wanted to know on my side whether, in terms of operational capital, can we be assisted? Because really, as it is now in my business, I'm experiencing a situation wherein it's like hand to mouth, because I'm renting the premises, I have to pay the staff, I have to buy stock. So it's like I'm not doing anything. I'll get money, I have to push back. So if there could be a way of, that's what made me to make sure that I appear, because I wanted to understand if I can be assisted in ensuring that I've got working capital, at least for a year, for my business. At least then I can know that I'm able to save money and invest and do business properly. Yeah.
So yes, so you can get operational financing. So again, it will depend on which lender you are going to qualify for. So we have lenders who, for example, specialize on bridge financing. We have lenders who specialize on operational financing. We have lenders who are more buy now, pay later lenders. We have all of those on the platform. And what we do is, as soon as you mention what you're applying for, you only get the lenders that you, so in your case, operational financing. As soon as you do that, we filter out all the lenders that you can't apply for, and you only work with the lenders that you can actually work with. So definitely they are there on the platform. I can give you that. So we currently also are rolling out, or within the next few months, we'll be rolling out a buy now, pay later model, where you can also buy your stock and then pay as you go and so forth, which is exciting from our point of view. So to close off, we have seen again a different trend as to the help that SMEs, even from the questions that I've been getting today. It's not always about financing. Sometimes it's about getting help registering the company or opening the bank account or even marketing, which is great to hear, because the partnerships that we are working on right now are currently aiming to solve for those pain points. Solve for those value adds where you know where to get a particular help from. You know that if it's around management of your business, who can you get in touch with? If you want help with, say, a PC, who can help you at that particular point? So we are excited to have that in place, and our launch will be happening within before the year end, for the dashboard as well as the partners that we have had who are coming on board. And we are excited to have you work with us over this journey. It's been an exciting journey to reach over 10,000 SMEs that we are working with currently, and our aim is to triple or double that number over the next coming months. So thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate the time that you have given us and the support that you have given us as a company, and we appreciate the feedback that you continuously give us to keep making the product better over time. So if there are no more questions, I would pass it back to you, Manti and Tim.
For now, we're going to present our Insyts dashboard. That is where, after registering on our Insyts app, you then go into it to find, basically, to track how your business is doing in terms of your financial goals, the revenue you're making, and also be able to understand how far you are in your journey of financing. So just bear with me while I do technology. So now we're gonna continue with our program. We're gonna have presentations from partners and advocates, SME advocates, those who advocate for the success of entrepreneurs and their businesses. And first and foremost, we're gonna get Basitsana Moketsi in the Caesar Business Fund. Please give her a round of applause as she comes to the stage.
So, who are we? Caesar Business Fund. Ne? We are a privately held purchase order financing entity that strives for the betterment of an economically inclusive South Africa through the advancement of finance. So our mandate and role is to ensure that we facilitate access to funding to SMEs. In a nutshell, we make it easier for people who do not qualify for bank loans to stand a chance. So now, how do we mitigate our risks as a finance institution? I'd like to call us that because we deal with money. How do we mitigate that? When we give out money, what is my surety? How can I ensure if I get my money back? Because that is also another problem that we have faced within the business. Because remember, with business, it's not linear. You just learn along the way. You can forecast as much as you want, you can make provision as much as you want, but when there's a problem, there's a problem. So how do we tackle that on our side? Because the first thing from our side is to make sure that we solve a problem. Now, in the process of solving problems, we have problems too. So how do we do that? So we have our risk mitigation. Number one, we have a formal agreement with the client, something that binds us. We are not Mashonis. We are not going to ask for your car. So we believe in black and white. And then we have risk circumvention. That's where now we have our sessions in place and where we have the bank signatories. Because you would find that sometimes when we do business, we are of the assumption that we have a common goal for both of us to win. Both of us want to win. We need to make sure that we have a common goal. But it becomes a problem now when somebody is dishonest. So we found ourselves in cases where we would fund somebody and then they would say, no, it's fine, we'll just give you viewing rights. And we view the amounts, but they don't come back to us. So that's why now we have sessions in place. We also have the issue of signatories where we now transact on your behalf for the duration of the process. So in terms of duration, that's my next point. We normally have clients that have that expect their money in 30 to 60 days. Because no, now we deal with purchase orders and invoice discounting, which is my next point. So with purchase orders, you would find that you have an order that you need to fulfill, but you do not have the funds. You can't go to the bank. Where do you go? I was hoping you'd say CSS. Yeah. CSS is a business fund. You come to us because we reach that. We ensure that clients are able to fulfill their obligations. We ensure that business is running. We don't want you to find yourself in a situation where now you are stuck because you don't have funds, but you have a valid order. You understand? So that's how we come in place and say, all right, give us the order, we'll pay your supplier. We will pay your supplier. We don't give it to you. I agree you have an order. With that order, you bring it to us. We go to your supplier. And the nice part about it is that we have our own due diligence. We make that. So you won't find yourself in a situation where now you've been scammed. We've got a team that's assigned to ensure that the money is going to the right people. Because that also is another problem. So, Rona, we go to the supplier. We do what needs to be done. You deliver your order. Then you thank us later. You thank us later. That's what we do. And then with our invoice discounting. Okay, with the invoice discounting, I don't want to be very exact in terms of the percentages, but I'm just going to work around estimates because now we have various cases. Because with business, it's very volatile, so we can't say this is the container we are going to use. What if it's not eligible for holding what's inside? So now what we do, we work on per case. You have an invoice here, R1 million. It's paying in the next 30 days. I get. But now you also have an order at the same time, because remember, once you are a business, we as clients, when we come to you, we are not going to say, have you been paid so that you can offer me your services? We don't do that. We want to be offered services when we come to you, and you as a business person, you want to be able to make sure that you service your clients properly. So what we do now, with this invoice, yeah, R1 million. We buy it. We buy it because there's a case where you would need funds, but you can't wait for that period where it needs to be paid. You can't wait for that because business does not wait, it keeps moving. Money and time. I get it. So now, what we do, we take that invoice here, R1 million. We buy it, but at a certain percentage, and also depending on who your client is. If it's a credible client, we can go as far as 80% buying that invoice, as in we give you 800,000 rand. If it is a credible person, like a credible entity. And then our minimum is 75%. So we're moving from 750,000 to 800,000 rands. We buy that invoice, we give you that. And then once your invoice pays, you pay us what's due to us. So I mentioned that I did not want to place any percentages because we do get hybrid cases where a client might come on the 10th, but they expect money on the 15th. So it means it's just 5 days really. So we would work on for example, 0.3% daily. So that's why I was saying it's variable. We can't say this is a standard. Every case requires a special treatment, if I may. So that is also what we do. So it's purchase order funding, and then it is invoice discounting.
Are you looking at which institutions maybe I'm working with? Do you like I know most places they purchase orders, it would be issues of government and stuff like that. So I just want to know what is your.
Oh yeah, no,
is it
private, government, we are good to go. As long as it's a valid purchase order and we can verify it on our end, we will
What is the
assist.
minimum time to come to you? 7 days, 5 days?
No, at most we'd say 48 hours. Because what we would need would be like your documentations and everything, but we do have all that information on our website where now you can apply and everything. I think what I did not emphasize is the scope in terms of who exactly qualifies. We do not cater for services in a sense. We how do I put it? You want to buy equipment for a service, right? We don't cater for that. What we cater for is the ability to do business. Am I making sense? Like, for example, if you have an order.
Yeah.
What's your industry? Pastry.
Baker.
Baker. Correct. You have an order, correctional services. That's when we come in now. When there's business. Yes, something that needs to be fulfilled. An order that you need to yes, supply and deliver.
So my question is, I think I have got the whole point. You guys are dealing with purchase orders. But my question is, with the purchase orders or the invoices that you guys are dealing with, are they from specific places or from the criteria it's coming from? Or any invoice is acceptable? I'm not sure if I'm making sense.
An invoice which you bring to us, which you want it to be discounted, we obviously have to do the DD which you spoke about. Having to check if first of all, how long has the company been trading for? And then, does the company have any sort of financial muscle? And we even go to a point where we even have to get the financials of the company. If we are checking, like for this week, we have a case for one of a company which is importing things from overseas, and this guy wanted us to discount that. So we even went to a point of having to check out. We do the due diligence in terms of we check out the directors of the business. We check out the how much on the CIPC, how much have they declared in terms of their turnover, and then those decisions would obviously get us to a point where we could make an informed decision if whether we would assist you or not. What would not get you approved is if you get a company from TZZ's trading enterprise that has just been registered last year. You went and got a subcontractor, they've seeded something over to you, and then so that in that instances we won't be able to assist. Yeah. So we don't have a preferred clients as per se. As long as if you can show us and you can prove to us that the client is in a position to pay, then you're good to go.
So moving forward with the program, when I have Lesego Nzima, who is a business strategist, so he's gonna be able to what was happening now, what he's going to be talking about feeds into that. So those challenges, and now we're gonna be able to hear how now you are able to maneuver certain challenges from him.
Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible. I'm so used to probably using a mic. Usually when I go to conferences, I'm usually one of the first people to speak. So today, the table has been turned around. So my name is Lesego Nzima. So I'm a business strategist, but I usually don't like to say that. So I'm a doctor for SMEs, and the reason for that is that when you look at our economy, the only way that South Africa and any economy can grow its GDP is through SMEs. So when you understand the language of GDPs, it's basically meaning products that we as SMEs are getting out into the bigger market, right? So a GDP, there's then what you get in a global economy, what you call GWP, which is gross world product. Now that's all the GDPs in all the countries put together, determining the better living of people. GDP is all about measuring the better living of individuals. So when you look at the way you can contribute to a GDP is through SMEs moving from a tuck shop to a supermarket. It's not Tiger Brands opening another branch somewhere. No, it's SME, it's Wendy's business opening a new branch in Joburg or Pretoria. That's what we mean by contributing to. Oh, thank you so much. So that's what I'm told to position myself. Okay, so what I want to share with you guys is what's happening in your economy. So you get to understand where each and every business one day was a startup. Apple was a startup. It was a startup. It didn't just fall from the cloud as big as it was. It was somebody sitting in a room like this with an idea, and it had to start like that. So something called business evolution, where we come from and where we're going. That's what I want to share, and I'm going to really browse through this as fast as possible. I want to, from this moment, I want to stimulate your brain. What we've seen, we know the challenges that we're facing as SMEs, right? And we thank God for the guys that were speaking, GAP, Caesar Fund, and all of them. We thank you guys for that, because you are actually bridging some of the challenges that we're facing. We are frustrated, you know why? Because not all of them are solved, but we are happy that you're here. Longer time ago, there wasn't platforms like this. It was only Upstart, Standard Bank, FNB, and all of them. Capitec has come. By the way, Capitec started behind the boot. It's an SME that's going to solve tomorrow's issue. So I want us to look at something very interesting. Industrial resolution. You actually realize how far we've come and where we are, and how things have changed through time. So industrial resolution, we first started with the stream trains and power. That's what was making money. It was all about one train moving to the next city and selling whatever it was. And in that time, coal, goods. Second revolution was looking at mass production and electricity. That's what came out in that time. Third revolution was the electronic and IT system and automation. That's what's coming out right now. We started talking a bit about AI and all of that. But where we are today, the fourth, is actually cyber physical systems. That's basically meaning that even today, your parliament is actually sitting at their own houses and having meetings. That's transforming every way of doing business. So today, we can't think the same way of how we're going to do business. Great idea. I like how you use the bakery as the beginning of doing business, because it's about supply and demand. But now I'm stimulating your minds to say, to do a bakery tomorrow is a different thing. So let's look at Apple and Netflix. Netflix actually has been in business for the past 22 years, if you didn't know. 22 years. They started by selling DVDs. It was a DVD store, like DVD rentals, right? And they started making sure that DVDs actually get to your household. And then after a specific time, they expire, right? So they actually thought, through time, today, Netflix is saying to you and me, no need to go to the movies. I've got your back. Sit back and relax. Sit with your bae. Sit lima. So Netflix is saying to me and you, you don't need a DVD. You can access me anywhere, any place. And by the way, Netflix business today, what is it making money from? Not streaming, production. They're producing. This is the evolution of what they moved from. DVD in your house, and then now accessible anyway. Apple, when it started, it was actually selling a small computer. This is how the computer was. This is their first built computer. Today, let's not even talk about it. Apple actually built a device. When you're traveling, you just put it in your suitcase. You can trace your suitcase. That's crazy. Evolution. I want to introduce something and this is really what's going to open up your mind. I chose a brand that's currently doing well in South Africa, and we all know about ShopRite. ShopRite was just retail. Food to you. That's all they were doing. That's all I knew ShopRite for. They were literally just a redistributor or resellers of food. ShopRite, by the way, doesn't own its production houses. So it sets up people who produce and then they sell to you. Right? But ShopRite then made ShopRite Checkers. What did it do? It diversified its business to such a point they cater for the poor and the elite. Let's talk about your Checkers today. You can enter in Checkers and still feel you're in Woolworths. Have you thought about that? That's evolution. The same shop that was sitting in the middle of Tembisa and you thought was nothing. It's coming to you and saying, by the way, we also want to cater for the elite. How? Checkers. Something very interesting. Now ShopRite is saying to me and you, we want to handle your money as well. We want to handle your cash. We want to deal with your money. If you want to send money to your neighbor, call us. Come. All we need is ID. We give you this. We charge you 10 rand. They made how much? They made how much? Oh, jeez. Now ShopRite created a company called ShopRite X. ShopRite X. So they are the guys who came up with this. Actually, they bought this from Donald's company. They do the 60 seconds delivery. What they are doing right now, they're coming up with innovation ways of how to better your retail experience. While we are sitting here, we're talking about purchase orders, they are planning against us. You know what? Once they get the money and it's in their bank, we're going to make their shopping experience so seamless that they want to come buy from us. So why am I saying all of these things? I'm saying we're at the right platform. We're the right people. But our mindsets towards business should no longer be about the products that we are selling, but the value we are adding to our consumers. Apple is not selling a product to you. Apple is selling a value. Why are you buying Apple? You're actually saying it's the best phone. I'm comfortable. It's easy. That's why you want it. For even people are willing just to go work so that they can just afford an Apple phone. Is it the product or the value it's adding to you? It's the value. So if you begin to transform your mind from the product that you're offering to the value that you're adding, you begin to be like ShopRite, who moved from a retail store and then ended up in a money market. Let's take a look Vodacom. Vodacom does these advanced things, and they say pay 1 rand. Do you understand? Vodacom is actually making money every day from loans. They're loaning you. So Vodacom is in the business of loaning. So business is evolving, ladies and gentlemen. We have our challenges, but business is evolving. My worry is, by the time SMEs realize that yes, you've got money in your bank account, you want to do business, it's already evolved, you're late. You need more money. So when you start looking at the product that you're supposed to, at the value you're adding, there's something interesting that comes in. You might discover that it's not money that you need, it's partnership. So there's things in this specific room right now that if you have a conversation with somebody, money is no longer an issue. Do you understand? Because you are looking at the value that you are adding, not the product that you're providing. So let's look at it this way. I want you guys to really position your minds around what ShopRite is doing. They've got money coming in. It's you paying there. It's the SASA grant. Imagine. They're even making money from your own government, right? It's the money market. It's the tills, and they're selling compy tickets. Now it's December. People are traveling. They're going to be buying bus tickets. By the way, ShopRite is there. They're partnering with you because they want to add value to you as a consumer, right? Cash out of them. It's their peer-to-peer payments, they have food vouchers, digital money, savings. They're giving you savings opportunities, bill payments, groceries, and travel. They are all over the place. You understand? So let's understand this. When you start looking at the value that you're adding to your customers, you start realizing the evolution that's happening throughout your business. And you start thinking and approaching your business differently. So I want to encourage you today to be on the feet thinking. It's time to really get out of this thing that is frustrating SMEs, which is money. Yes, we need it. I'm so glad there are partners that are willing to come in and bridge some of those gaps. you know, through purchase orders, Gap is here, and all of these stuff. And thank God for Akiba Digital. It's a platform to allow you to create something out of what you have. It's allowing us to trade. It's the railway that we need for today. But the problem is, if Akiba and all of these guys allow you to get money, and you get access to money, and you actually discover you are late, the market has changed, what now? So, let me bring this thought to you. Cows don't give milk. A cow never gave milk. Never. Never. Show me a cow that gives milk. Baba, show me a cow that gives milk. Have you seen one?
No.
Your cow. I want it. I really want that cow. Let me tell you guys, cows never gave milk ever. If cows made milk, we'll all have our own clover stores in our backyards. A cow is milk. A cow is milked. It never gives milk. It is milked. Without milking the cow, milk will never be available. So here's this thought. Think about this. Think about this. Think about this. If nobody went to a cow and tested what comes out, would there be fresh milk today? No. You are not hearing me. Listen. Imagine somebody, some naughty Einstein, went to a cow's titty and said there's a product. And today, me and you, we're having that almost every day. Why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? Today, there might be somebody, and that's why I like SMEs. Today, there might be somebody who's sitting in his garage with a product, putting things together, figuring something out. Tomorrow, it might be a need to me and you. Somebody was sitting in his own garage, busy. Uber Eats, Uber Foods. It didn't matter to me and you. But today, we need it. We need it. Do you understand? Because somebody was not focused on the product, but the value they need to add. I'm pickling on your minds for a reason. Let us not be blocked by our circumstances, that as SMEs that we're going through. It's reality, we know. But let us also be aware that we can milk a cow and a product comes out that will change every evolution around our sector. So I don't want to go through this. We probably know all of this. Why SMEs fail, starting the business for the wrong reasons, right? Imagine how many people, I sit with CIPC guys, and they tell me how many people actually deregister their business after a year, because the only reason they register the business is to get a tender, which me and you are thinking about, and the rest of South Africa is thinking about, and it must come to you, and you just registered your business yesterday, right? Lack of research and knowledge about the product and the market. We are struggling with these things. We're not necessarily professionals. But today, I want to say this. Anybody who has access to the internet and is still broke or not finding a way is ridiculous. Think about it. I'm saying anybody who has access to the internet and today still does not have an idea of generating money is lazy. Let's face it, is lazy. People have generated businesses that me and you are using today by just having connectivity. Not knowledge, connectivity. Testing things out. If you have time, do some research, right? The gaming industry is a big industry that's making money. Today, Christmas is coming, you're going to buy your kids games. The gaming industry is making so much money by just somebody having connectivity and programming skills. Money in the bank. So, lack of knowledge, skills, and efficient access to network and mentorship. We have that. We should network here. That's why we're here. To network, sit together, and see how we can milk one another to create a good product. Right? And no capital and bad financial management. I'm so happy some of the ladies actually did manage. Say, it's not that I don't have money, but I don't have the skill of managing money. Akiba's here. They want to help you. let's come together, let's collaborate and help one another in our weaknesses, so that we can come up and be giant companies as well. I want to share some deep revelation with you guys that, Simon Singh talks about very well. He says, if you want to arrive to the purpose, we must ask the question, why are we doing what you're doing? If at this moment you have not answered the question why you're doing this business that you're doing, you're actually chasing after your tail. Number two is, if we now want to arrive at what will the process be for what we're doing, we have to answer the question how. Now the last question you want to ask yourself is, if you want to arrive at the product and service that you're offering to us, is what? Most of you guys start the question with what, how, and why. That's why you're struggling. And the moment you say what, funding will be an issue. But the moment you say why, your neighbor next door might have a land that they're not using and you could use. So it was not funding in the beginning. It was just access to land. But when you start with what, it's funding. Are you guys? Yeah. So, levels of entrepreneurship. And I want to use ShopRite as an example. Level number one is product. This is when you're just seamlessly talking about your product. Have you had somebody selling, imagine you go to Gucci and they tell you this shoe is expensive. You don't want to hear that. What Gucci is supposed to tell you is when you wear this shoe, the way you walk, the way it talks for you before you speak. You understand? Not that it's expensive. That's what you guys are doing. You are telling us, no, it's the first product. I don't care. What can it do? What value does it add to me as a customer? So ShopRite said, we're going to give you food. It was good. But they saying, you know what? We're going to make sure that this product that we're offering will reach you wherever you are. Even in the rural of rurals. ShopRite is there. So they started moving to the next level, which is distribution. Think about it now. Drip and Batu, they're in this stage. They're just making sure you get the product anywhere, anytime. The next phase is value chain. Now you're actually trying to forward buy and backward buy some of your suppliers, which means ShopRite goes and contracts your bakery and say, you supply solely to us. Right? You control the value chain. Now the last step going into, it's the ecosystem. You control the whole ecosystem. Meaning you make things move. When I say toothpaste, people say Colgate. Why? They've controlled the industry. You understand what I'm saying? So what are you going to do so that when people think about your product, they think it is it? Okay. So for interest sake, look at it this way. Levels of, when you look at it from an eco business, you actually control your labor unions, your stakeholders, and all of those guys. Those are the guys that you really want to do. And in the middle, you have your core business. I want to remind you again, Apple was once a startup. It was in a garage. The guy was calling people and asking for opportunities. He was asking for funding. If you want the pre-qualification to know that your business is working, number one is you have one. The beginning is you have one. The only thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to move from being self-employed to entrepreneurs. It's a process. If it was easy, say, everybody would do it. And by the way, if you want a job, people are willing to hire you. If you feel like it's too heavy, let's get jobs. But if you really want to transform your business, if you really want to impact the world, if you really want to leave a legacy, let's take along. Let's collaborate. Let's think. Let's stop thinking about the problems and start engaging about solutions. So some of the solutions that I personally do, and I'm busy with talks with Akiba Digital, that we really want to have this platform, but a collaborative platform, because there are issues that you guys are facing, and Akiba has got the ability to help you with these things, but they need you guys to partner with them And one of the things is we want to actually come up with a SME talk show where we bring industries to come together on that talk show, when we bring the market leaders and also the stakeholders, meaning the government, if it's agriculture, bringing the government of agriculture to sit in, and people who are running agricultural business, and we engage, we talk about our frustrations. Let's make an impact. It's not the time for us to actually go and strike. No. Let's engage.
That time is finished.
That time is finished. That was when the guy was making the car with his hand. It is gone. Now we are at a place where we can come, engage, collaborate, make a noise, make an impact. Government will hear about us. Opportunities will come to us. You understand? Let us start planting the seed. When the seed is inside the soil, then we can call somebody and say, by the way, I sell spinach. When they say, where is it? They say, here. Let's stop going out and say, by the way, I sell spinach. When they say, where is it? In here. Nobody will buy them. Let somebody come to us and ask us, okay, how can I help you grow more spinach? So imagine this, guys. Imagine this. Imagine a night where we can come together, talking, sitting, as CEOs and business owners, engaging about the solutions that we want to give to one another and helping bridge the gap. Right? I want to say this as a last statement. There's what you call natural selection. Those who have done biology will know about a man called Charles Darwin. What he has done, he has described that in nature, only the fittest make it to the next, right? So he explains how, for probably like an example, how a giraffe ended up having a long neck, right? It's biology, it's not me. He says, at the time where the inhabitation was changed, only the giraffes that actually could reach to the higher trees made it. Therefore, they breeded a new generation of who? Giraffes with longer necks. Although we are all humans, we have different attributes. So imagine if only certain people are cut off and only certain ones make or reproduce, we'll only have certain kinds of people in terms of attributes and genes. Let's use genes. So he looked at that concept, right? And he said at the end, only the fittest make it. Yes. But let's apply this on business. Only the fittest will make it tomorrow. Yes. If your business does not have a long neck to reach out to customers in this circumstance, there's somebody who made R1 million out of COVID. While you lost, somebody made it. Wow. Natural selection, it's not you, it's the process. Right? So think about it. He comes up with this story. He says the universe occurs, and every universe there is variation. He says now when you look at that, basically saying there's a diverse market. I'm encouraging you guys. The first step was actually registering your businesses and actually calling yourself a businessman or woman and actually being in business. The truth is, most businesses don't make money within the first 3 years. So you're not failing. You're enjoying the process. And when you get to make money, imagine that lady that said, I'm struggling to manage my finances. Imagine if you were making millions. Do you understand that the more people you hire, the more you fall prey to people affecting your business? Right now, as an SME, you have the opportunity to actually study your business thoroughly for you to know when somebody's going to bullshit you about your product or your finances. And you guys are rushing to bypass that. Do you understand? When you look at the Steinhoff saga and all of these things, what's happening to your finances? Who's looking at them if you don't understand them? Otherwise, we'll play with it. We'll do things. Right? So, in closing, what I want to say to you guys is, great minds don't just think alike. They also collaborate in reaching greatness. Do you understand? When ShopRite thinks of you, it says you are its partners. Yeah? Some of you, because you are there, you are strategic advisors. Yeah? You buy grocery, you send money, you buy tickets. You are strategic advisors. In fact, some women will tell you when there is a discount. Strategic advisors. And I'm saying, be strategic advisors towards your business, right? And I want to say this. Akiba is really creating a platform. This is a platform. We thank you for this, and it's a platform for us to engage. Let us also support them in being able to create this platform so it can get bigger and bigger, right? When we make impact, there's a noise that is heard. Even the great will be sitting here. You'll be able to ask them questions. You'll be able to partner with them, right? So I'm in talks with them, and we'll see how we can start arranging, this talk show and a dinner or something where we meet and we talk. We must call it a CEO's dinner, and we must engage, right? And the more we engage, the more you exchange information. When information is changed, and I'm thinking about this, that company that's actually doing funding. Do you understand the next business model, if they're not there? Do you understand? They're saying they pay your suppliers, right? Do you understand the next business that they'll go into? They have suppliers. When you say, I need this, they need that, they say, oh, by the way, we can help you. Do you see evolution? Do you see? They have suppliers. You guys don't know that. You just taught them, and it's a good thing because you are helping them, because they're helping you. You just taught them where you're buying things. They can actually go to people and say, don't worry, I've got a list of suppliers. And by the way, I can even get a discount because they're not buying with your name. All right, so thank you so much. As I close, I want to say this. I believe in you guys.
My name is Abraham Motswani, but you can call me AB for short, for obvious reasons. Ladies say they like guys who are tall, dark, and handsome. 2 out of 3, I'm not doing too badly. I must just work on my complexion. So we've started a company which is owned by our registered company called Learning University Projects. We started a company called Shesha Zaga, which is simply a payday and short-term loan business to both individuals and the SMEs. And during one of my sleepless nights, whilst I was conceptualizing this idea, I came across the Akiba digital website. Of all the places I had surveyed and tested, Akiba was the most responsive. And I'm talking August when I started engaging. As we speak, this morning I was actually testing on my website, on my test website live, the actual process of seeking a loan. And it takes less than 5 minutes for a customer to actually be onboarded and assessed, and for the system to give me feedback. So I'm very proud to actually be associated with a brand like Akiba Digital. Right. So because this is a startup, one of the things I did not have, because I only recently got my NCR certificate, because I didn't know I'm going to get it, because it takes such a long time, I did not have pamphlets, I did not have banners, but I still showed up. I said, whatever happens, I'm not going to show up with a banner, I'm going to show up to interact with other SMEs and learn from them. And basically that's what that slide is saying. It's saying in every process in your life, there's an opportunity to learn. So we go to the next one. Okay. And this one here, I've actually left blank on purpose. Because I believe that as an SME, you start with a blank canvas. What you put on that canvas is what's going to determine the next slide. So where to from here? One of my favorite mottos which I pinned in 2012 was what you need to do is think more, learn more, do more, and by so doing, you'll then achieve more. So to date, what we've done is we've got our website launched, still within our test phase, but it's functional, so we just need to launch it. We're going to be launching our mobile app, raise capital, but most importantly, through those processes, create employment and as a result, create a legacy. And we're going to explore other avenues. The previous speaker was totally amazing. Everything that he spoke about resonated with us, because that's exactly where Shesha Zaga wants to go. We've noticed that just giving people money is not enough. You need to get people to be able to do more things on your platform, and hence we're looking at things like exploring retail, things like lottery systems, online lottery system, etc. But most importantly is to become profitable. Okay, so those are our contact details. That's our website, Shesha Zaga. For those of you who don't know what Shesha Zaga means, Shesha means hurry, quickly. Let's do it now. Zaga means money. So we're creating an environment where people can get money quickly. Okay, so we all know, we've had experiences as SMEs. Frustrations were thrown out today that one of the challenges with traditional banks and other traditional funding institutions is turnaround time. So if you've got a platform like this, where after registering and loading your supporting documents, in less than 5 minutes, you get a response about your loan application, that's amazing. Thank you, Akiba. Thank you to the Insyts team, and thanks to everybody for attending. See you guys out there.
I would like to thank Insyts and Akiba for giving us young entrepreneurs this platform to showcase our businesses. I know being an entrepreneur in this day and age, it's difficult because of funding. That's very difficult. And then thank you for giving just the insight of us where to get the funding. Oh, okay. My products, we've got, we specialize in cosmetics and perfumes, as I said, and we try by all means to keep our products local as possible. So we use African plants, especially for raw materials. We've got aloe vera serum. We've got also hand lotion, which is avocado that we use, and also the body lotion as well is avocado. So we're going locally. And then also the perfumes, we cater for male and females as well. So everything is unisex for male and female. Please do come and support us. We do have social media platforms. You know, these days, in this day and age, everything is digital. So social media has helped me a lot. Like, we've got a page on Instagram, which is Honeyglow Cosmetics 84_. Even on Facebook, it's at Honeyglow 84. So thank you so much, guys, for giving me this platform and giving me the chance to explain about my products. And then my products are over there on the left-hand side. You can browse, test, and yeah, buy as well. I also swipe, by the way. And then, guys, I just want to say that never give up. Giving up is for cowards. Ne? Little is more. The more you do, one day you'll be a millionaire. Anything is possible, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Deboho. I am the CEO and co-founder of Akiba Digital. I started the business in 2017, where we were actually trying to build a bank ambitiously, but regulations in South Africa kicked our asses a couple of times, and so we had to humble ourselves and pivot. And I think the story around evolution of business was an incredible one, because I think we also personally, or I myself personally, went through that journey. And Akiba also went through that journey, and I think it led us to here, to where we are now, with such an incredible platform and having you all be part of it. Actually don't want to take credit. I'm not here, you're not all here because of me. You're all here because of the collective efforts of many different partners. And firstly, I think I want to just salute my Insyts team, marketing team, everyone else who just made this platform incredible. The idea of the Insyts Mixer was actually a random boardroom idea when we were scrambling to get feedback from small businesses about what we're doing right and what we're not doing right about this Insyts platform. Also just want to clarify what Insyts is to Akiba, so people are fully aware what the relationship is. Akiba owns Insyts. Insyts is actually a product of Akiba that allows SMEs to access capital by connecting you to different financiers. So whether that is your lenders, whether that is now GP, we're also doing grants, whether those are the banks, we're also bringing on board telcos and a few other players that can actually enable you to access the right capital that you need for your business. So this particular platform has been built and co-built and rebuilt by our engineering team, who's always so proud to show us all these fancy dashboards. But ultimately, if it's not solving problems for you as an SME, there's really no point, right? So this particular mixer, or the physical mixers, were meant to simulate the experience that we're creating on Insyts as an offline way for you to engage directly with lenders, for you to basically, you know, share your grievances, your shortcomings, and also learn from lenders like the CSCs, the GP, and now hopefully also Shesha, Zaka, and understand what their requirements are, where you as a business are maybe you know, falling short, and also how we as a platform can enable you to get there quicker. Because again, ultimately we're just using all this data, trying to connect you, and we want to do that as effectively as possible. So if it means we're bringing more value-add services, such as, you know, tax people that can help you get there, such as, you know, people that can help you register on CIPC, or whatever the case might be, that's essentially the mission of these physical mixes, to gain those insights and continue improving the platform. I'm not here on behalf of Akiba, unfortunately. I am here to speak about a partnership that we have with Power Africa. This is a recent partnership that we collaborated with that is actually powered by the African Development Bank. We have made a commitment, a very big commitment, Akiba and Power, to essentially enable 5,000 women-led businesses get financed in the next 2 years. So that's quite a huge commitment, because it means if you're starting from the point where you're not even registered, you have no clue how to run your financials, you have no credit score, maybe you have bad credit score, we're essentially saying we are putting all the efforts, all the resources that we can between ourselves, Power, and the African Development Bank to prepare you as a women-led business to get the right financing that you need in the next 2 years. So that obviously requires a lot of financial literacy, it requires a lot of advisory, but it also means it has to be a bespoke process, because one problem that you may face is not the same as another woman business. And so the whole point of this project, which we're calling it Fund Her, is to enable you as a woman-led SME to actually get financed. I think you can all agree, also as a woman founder myself, or woman small business leader, we've been promised so many things. There's so many programs that want to mentor you, we're overly mentored, but where's the money, right? Like, why are we not getting finance? And so the whole point of this program is we are in a privileged position as Akiba to actually bring these lenders on board, to partner with the financiers and actually create an incentive for the banks, for these other lenders that have been on the platform, to actually want to finance women. And so how do we do that? So it's a collaborative effort, because what they see as risk may be different to what you see, and you probably may not be aware of the risk that you have in your business. And so that is where we as Akiba and Power, our partner, who I'm speaking on behalf of, are collaborating to reduce that risk for you as a small business. Be aware of those risks, educate yourself, learn a bit more about your business, formalize your business, and then get financed. And also help you post the disbursement process, or once you've been financed, to help you actually get to your ultimate financial business goals. So this particular, I guess, platform now that I'm using to share this information is to make a call out to all women small businesses who are in the room. Please do apply to be part of the Fund Her program. It is free of charge. If you ever hear anyone anywhere on social media saying pay something to be part of this, it is a lie, probably a scam. It's free of charge, and part of that program is you will access Insyts for free, all the premium features that may actually not even be available to all other SMEs. You will also access Zero, the Zero platform, which is used to actually manage your finances, free of charge, because we have partnered with Zero to enable that. We then also will bring in other players. We are looking at GEP to come on board to potentially provide the grants that you may need as a small business, because sometimes financing in the kind of lending context may not be relevant for your business at this stage. And so we are collaborating with different players to enable you as a small business to get there, get financed, and kind of build a more sustainable business going forward. If you were to look at the funding gap that exists right now in Africa, it's actually over $200 billion. The funding gap between women-led businesses and men-led, well, the other gender, that's a massive gap. And so the only way we can actually bridge this is if we collaborate with you, banks, lenders, micro-lenders, whatever the case might be. So that's the other call out. The third call out is for anyone who works with small businesses, the likes of Lesego, who was so inspiring, talking about the evolution of business, is to have you all come together and help us not mentor, but actually provide the strategic needs that these businesses may need, women-led businesses, because we're not just trying to build spaza shops here. We're actually trying to help these 5,000 women-led businesses build multinational businesses, right, that can scale even outside of South Africa. Hence why the African Development Bank, because they are all over the continent. So we do need those players, anyone who thinks they have the right resources, whatever networks to help and support these women. This is also a call out for you to actually partner and collaborate with us. And just before I close off, how many of you ladies here are actually running your own businesses? Amazing. And how many of you have, please keep your hands up, and how many of you have actually gotten funded since you started your business? Keep your hand up if you have. If you've been funded, financed in the last whatever, however long. Okay, that's actually crazy, because there are only 3 women's hands that are left, and there were more than probably 15 that had their hands up. So if we were to make just an assessment there, that is ridiculous, isn't it? So these are people that are actually shaping the economy, that are here grafting every single day, that are actually also creating impact, employing people in their communities, etc. So why are we not financing women? Just because they're women? Isn't that ridiculous? So really, this program is to tangibly, practically bridge that gap by bringing all forces together and committing to helping at least 5,000. In my opinion, 5,000 is not enough, but this is what we can. It's also still ambitious because no government institution has ever done that. And so we are committed to enabling this. So on behalf of Power, on behalf of Akiba, on behalf of the African Development Bank, we do hope that the Fund Her program will inspire more women to actually come on board. Whether you are starting off, whether you've been around for 15 years or whatever the case might be, please join the program. And like I said, we'll send you all the information. There's going to be a physical activation specifically for this program on the 23rd of November. So if you also want to be part of it, where all the partners will actually be here, please do let me know. I don't know, Fidish, I think you'll share more information about this after, yeah? Perfect. That's it from my side. Sorry, you have a question? Yes. It has kicked you out twice. Through the Fund Her.
Through the phone, so I wanted to find out if it's an issue with doing it on the phone, or if it needs to a laptop, or what?
I will investigate. I had no idea that was an issue, but I'll make a note of it. You should be able to apply on your phone as well. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And I can hear for it. Given that they have a priority, no one is magic, because we come with very important things that are required like urgently. Please give us support that we need now. We work together.
Absolutely. So the Insyts platform actually does not exclude anyone. Like we said, you can actually go on Insyts, or if you wish to have a private conversation with one of our team members, we can also do that and help you get the right financing. So it does not exclude men at all. It's just that there's a special program for women because the gap is so big that we need to do something different. The same way BEE was a thing that needed to bridge economic gaps between, racial, whatever was created because of the color of your skin, we also need to do those things to bridge the gap, because unfortunately it exists, right, for many different reasons. So that's all it is. This Fund Her program is specifically for women. It doesn't mean that on Insyts we're excluding men. If you have a business and you want to apply, please by all means jump on. And again, I think you've connected also with a few lenders that have been here today. So the likes of CSISA, the likes of GP, we can also connect you with them. And yeah, hopefully one of the, I think over 20 lenders that we have on Insyts should at least take interest. Yeah, okay, perfect. I don't know if there are any other questions for Power for this Fund Her project specifically. Yes?
The issue that I had when I was registering was with zero. It wasn't
Zero. Ah, okay. So, is it on the Fund Her program? So, did you apply for it? Okay. 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 I'll chat to you after this because we just need to take those details. But I think for some that don't, I don't know if you are all familiar with Zero or a similar financial management tool. No?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're not using a platform to manage your business finances, that's also a big problem. And maybe you don't know where to start as well. So I think this activation will help because the Zero team will be here to explain why you need Zero, what it's good for. It'll help you budget, it'll help you, manage all of that. And the whole point of this program is we'll give you a free subscription to Zero. Literally just because you're part of it. So that's the other great thing about the program. So if there are no other questions, oh, yes. Yeah, so it's similar, not the same, but I mean they're competitors. So if you have Sage to manage your day-to-day business finances, that's perfectly fine. But if you don't have a similar tool, the program provides a, free subscription to Zero. Okay. Oh, yes, Google.
So, do I register on Insyts first, or do I go on Fund Her?
So you can actually go either. It doesn't matter. You'll end up at the same place. If you're already on Insyts, you will probably get another thing to say apply for the program. If you go through the program, you'll end up on Insyts. So it really doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you taking the time off of your busy work as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as supporters as well of other business owners, as also lenders who also took time in their day to join us. Really, really appreciate it, and I hope you do find value in having such platforms. This may actually be our last mixer for the year, but if it is, we do promise to come back bigger and stronger next year because we have a few other interesting partnerships, including the likes of Uber Eats. If you are a small business that would love to be on Uber Eats or whatever equivalent, those are some of the partnerships that we are lining up to ensure that you continue accessing market, and, beyond just capital, how best can we enable you to grow your business. So on behalf of the Akiba team, I'm sure Fidish, I don't know if you're going to say a few words, but Fidish, Mamti, for handling the program. For everyone else that's been running in the background, I know we couldn't get popcorns on time. I'm sure they're still coming. But everyone else who's put in time, all the suppliers. By the way, we do actually work with small businesses to supply and run the whole mixers. So all the tables that you're seeing, the cocktail things, the videographers, the photographers, everyone here who has made this possible is an SME in one way or another. And so you coming here is actually not just, it's actually valuable because we are probably supported 10 businesses already just being here. So really grateful, and one last thing that you will get is a goodie bag, which I wish, can someone please just bring me one? So there's a goodie bag that everyone is gonna get, and I'm not sure what's in it, but I do know that the lady that actually, I want you to stand actually, that put together our Insyts. This is the second time that she's done this. She has a branding business, and these are the things you're gonna get, by the way, everyone. So her branding business allows you to get all, your products, branding on all of these things. So we literally just gave her a brief, and she came up with something, given the budget that we had. So now we're getting a water bottle. What is this? An opener, okay, for those that are...
And a cutie.
And there's also this, which is, I think, from another SME.
Old one time.
Okay, so I don't know if she's still here, the lady.
Video one.
Yeah, so it's basically in this goodie bag, you're supporting two different SMEs that are both women-led, which is incredible. So I just want you to stand, and maybe everyone, please put together, give her a round of applause for preparing all of this for us. And if you do need any branding for your businesses, do talk to her. I think it's incredible what she's able to do. We've used her more than once now, so please do, and they do actually deliver on time, which is important. So yeah, thank you so